Hello, what's up good people? Good to see you once again on another new video. Alright, today we are talking about marriage and finance. Alright, so have you ever found yourself in a situation whereby you and your partner, you're talking about money and you're solving the same issue or the same problem that you were trying to solve last month, last year, last 4 years, last 10 years? You find that kind of a conversation that you're having is never progressive conversation. You kind of rotate on the same challenges, on the same problems. So what exactly might propagate it to that situation, and what exactly can you do so that you do not get yourself in that what we call sort of a retrogressive conversation and you always get yourself into problems? And that is a cup of coffee and that's what you're looking for, then this is the video for you. Stick around, watch this video to the end so that you understand exactly what are you supposed to do, because I'm going to share with you in terms of a point, all right, point A, B, C, D, so that you understand exactly what are you supposed to do so that you can be able to balance these two delicate things. Because let me tell you one thing, they always say that there is no romance without finance, and that's so true, by the way. So anyway, because I don't want you to miss any of my good future videos, I want you to do a simple thing. Doesn't cost you anything, only take 1 second. Just down below there is a button. On your right there is a button written subscribe. It is in black. Hit that magical button. Then on your left there is a like button. Hit those two magical buttons, and guess what happens? This is the advantage. You get to be notified by the YouTube that Good Joseph has uploaded a good new video. Alright, so let's get into it. Just like I say, when I was starting up, I asked you, did you or have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're solving the same problem? You never find any progress or such kind of a thing. So what exactly can propagate to this situation whereby you people, you're not even understanding each other? And let me tell you one thing. I hate the term trust, but when it comes to marriage and such kind of a thing, then trust is a very essential thing. But how exactly is it ruined to a point whereby people tend to separate, and wherever you ask them, the genesis was all about money? Perhaps this is just a video away from saving your marriage and actually doing that's what is appropriate for you. Now, what exactly propagates these differences is what we call the mismatch, or what we call a mismatch in terms of money matters. All right, you guys, you find that the two of you do not have a match in between the money relations or money issues. You find that there is a very big mismatch. Let's take a very simple example. You find, like, maybe let's say one partner is a saver, the other partner is a spender or a spendthrift. So these particular two individuals, they have two different approaches when it comes to money. Let's take a case scenario which is a bit popular. Let's say the lady is a spendthrift and the man is a saver. At this particular point, you find the guy, the perception or the perception that he has towards the money is about, let's scale down on our usage so that at least we can save more money in terms of let's get a more capital so that we can invest and grow ourselves to the next level. But now on the other side, we have a partner or have a lady that who says, like, anyway, I feel like we aren't getting the match that we should get. This life is short. We are supposed to enjoy ourselves. We do not know nothing about tomorrow and such kind of a thing. So when you put those two guys together, which is not amazing, it happens. Now, at that particular point, you find that the lady might develop an understanding that this guy is doing so because probably he's having another affair somewhere. Or maybe this guy is trying to generate, or maybe he's directing his money or his finances towards a different area. It can be true, and other times it cannot be the truth, or sometimes it's not the truth. And on the other side, the guy feel like this lady who just want to spend the money, is not future oriented, it's that kind of a thing. So instead now solving on the issue that is on the table, you start attacking the person. And we know it is called ad hominem. Whenever you attack an individual instead of the solution, then at that particular problem, or rather at that particular point, you realize you aren't solving any problem. So every moment you face a finance issue, it tends to believe that it's because of this kind of an individual. The reason why I'm not progressing is because of this individual. The reason why I'm not living a good life is because of this individual. This guy is so much mean, is so much minimalist or frugal person to a point whereby we aren't even getting the basics. I've received such kind of calls or from different clients asking me or telling me what exactly they should do. What I would advise is this: sit down with a pen and paper and have what we call a progressive kind of a conversation, and understand your partner. Understand the fact that this guy is a saver, or this lady is a saver, and this guy is a spendthrift. At that particular point, now you outline some things. Say, like, for example, let's say you don't take something and you don't regard something as good for you, but somebody else regards that thing as a good for them. So you are supposed to come to a point whereby, as much as I'm a saver, I understand and appreciate the fact that this particular thing really matters to me or to you. Then you should have it at this budget and should not spill over above this budget. So learn to get that thing that makes you happy within this particular budget. And then the money, we should direct it towards what we call investment and other future progression. That is exactly how you do it. Because let me tell you one thing, the only way that you cannot, or the only way that you can have fully control of your money, it's only by not having this particular person who is a spendthrift. And that means breakage. And that is not the thing that I would advise, and that is the most worst thing that can ever happen in your life. Say if you have kids and something of sort. So the point is this: you sit down, understand your partner, and know this is kind of an individual. This is a guy who doesn't spend a lot, and that's him not spending a lot should not affect you guys. He should have a budget at least somewhere for the sake of you. And also, you people, you should also understand that you're not supposed to spill over that budget for the sake of the future of this specific family. That's a fact number one. The other fact, you find that people do not have what we call constant money conversation, which is very essential. Having a constant money conversation, it means that you can sit down with pen and paper, have a wee plan or have a wee solution of a certain target that you're having. Remember one thing: whenever you got married and you're living together, it means that in most cases that the goals that you have are common goals. We have what we call a wee goal, not my goal, your goal. The difference starts when one individual, or when the two of you develops what we call an individualistic goals. Whenever you have two separate goals, somebody is, for example, let's be sincere. This guy that you married, he came from a certain family. There is a family that he left. This lady that you married, she came from a certain family that you left. Let's say the family that she left, it wasn't a well-fortunate family. The family that they left is not a well-fortunate family. Let's say this guy pays what we call the black tax, meaning that he educates his brothers and sisters and maybe supports the parents or a parent, right, or the guardian. And the same case applies to the lady. So at that particular point, this guy is a breadwinner. This lady is a breadwinner from the other end. And whenever you realize that one partner is kind of still have that, one leg from where the family that she left or he left, at that particular point, you might feel that you're not realizing the full potential of this house because this guy has a leg or back to where he came from or where she came from. At that particular point, I always say, despite it's a very sensitive matter, it's good to sit down and have the conversation. And this one is best when you're starting up. It's always good to make sure that you put this across and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, we're about to get married, but this is a fact. I usually educate my brother. I usually support my mother. I usually support my father, or whatever the thing that you have out there. So, at that particular moment, before you get in that thing, then at that particular point, now you realize, even if you realize there's some money that is going towards that black tax, you can be able to understand and you can progress to the next level. Rather than you being blinded by love to a point whereby you get married and then the time you're realizing when you're in the middle of that thing that this guy or this lady does exactly that. But this is what I would advise. In any moment that you're progressing in this life, there is one thing that I'll tell you. This may be a brutal truth, but it's a fact. The family that you created or the family that comes out of you is far much better than the family that you left. That's for a fact. Because at the end of the day, most of the money that you get, over 80% of what you earn, is usually consumed by the family that you created or the family that got out of you. And that's for a fact. And I've seen a lot of people breaking up their marriages simply because of them still having a lot of financial ties with where they came from. I'm not saying it's not good to help them. It is good and it's an amazing thing, but don't let that thing come to a point whereby it is actually disorienting what you have as a goal. And that can only be so if there is something called dishonesty. Now that's point number 3. If there is a dishonesty in that relationship or in that marriage, then it means that one partner is doing something that is not disclosed to the other. Well, I understand some secrets are good to be kept. And now when I say some secrets are good to be kept, men understand what I mean. Sometimes you cannot just reveal all your cards towards your people, but on that perspective of you not revealing all the cards to your people should mean good. You're doing so just for the sake of the progression of this specific family. But if you're doing so that you can have an extra income to go and do some other things, hooking around and that kind of a thing, then that is an ill form or an ill call. But if you're having so for the sake of the progression of this family, then that's a thumbs up. So it is good to have what we call the honesty when it comes to this kind of what we call the money issues. The other thing that you find that people tend to argue about is about one partner is employed, the other partner is not employed, or both of you are employed, but one partner is earning way much, compared to the other partner. So to a point whereby this partner or this individual who is earning more tend to think or believe that I am doing everything for the sake of this family. So that means that should be listened to. And when you think or when you believe or subscribe to the understanding that you must be listened to, at that particular point, you tend to diminish the other partner to a point whereby whenever they feel like they aren't, taken as important that they should be, then they feel like I'm not appreciating this thing, and they feel like you're taking them for useless. And that's the most important thing, or the most sure an important thing that you're supposed to understand, because it's the worst thing that can actually propagate into you having an ending conversation which is never progressive. So one thing that you're supposed to understand when it comes to marriage, you have to balance those two aspects. And sometimes I decide, and sometimes you tell people like they can have a common account. I won't really advise that, because that is never a solution. You see, you knowing me, or you knowing how much I have in my account, that is not an issue. But if me or I do provide what is supposed to be provided for the sake of the family, then that's an amazing thing. I do not know who told people that you're supposed to know everything that I have in my account. Well, I understand it is good to know, but does not translate. You can know what I have in my account, but I can decide not to. You cannot know what I might have in my account, but I'm providing everything, humanly possible to you. All right. So the point is this: some families work better on them having a joint account, which is an amazing thing. You put all your money in one basket, and then whenever you're going to purchase that piece of land, or want to build, or want to invest, you're doing it as we. If that what makes you marriage work, then go for it. If that doesn't work for you, then if you having two separate accounts, then that should be the case. Then go for that thing, because the moment you mix those two things, then I'm telling you. And let's say one thing: the one problem that I found in life is this: you find that you go there and you realize a certain couple, this is what they're doing for them to progress, and then you're taking that, intricate that, or rather you're doing what we call the copy paste, and then you bring that on board in your family, and then you think that exactly thing will work for you. That is never the case. It's good to be very careful. Just look what works for you, so that at least you may be in a position whereby to know where the brain started beating you. Otherwise, if you progress on that, just copy pasting everything, then that might get you into more problems. So the point is this: if I may just recap exactly what I've just said, it is good to have a money conversation. Sit down and have what we call the budgeting of your money. Allocate your money. All right. Sit down and try to see. Well, if it's about the kitchen issues and what have you, ask the lady, now how much do you consume in a month? This is the amount, right? How much do we dedicate towards the utilities, the water bills, the electricity bills, the such kind of a thing, the school fees and what have you? How much do we do that? This is the amount. All right. Now, how much do we consume towards like paying our debts, if you have any, or maybe towards investments or something of sort? This is the match. Now, whenever you have that on the table and you include her, then it means that she knows very well. Say you want 100 G's, all right? So she knows exactly 65 G's is gone. We only have 35. So if she's thinking of something else, then she already know. She has to think within the bracket of 35,000. But the moment it just closed down and just you're getting into the pocket and then giving her, she doesn't even know how much is left. And when she don't know how much is left, then she cannot be able to know to what extent her needs should go. But when you involve her on the table, when you're having the budget together, so that she can be able to know this is the amount left, then whatever I'm craving for something, this is the amount I should. I do not like to talk about ladies' money and I'll tell you like you should let her, contribute on something. I'm not a guy who subscribes to that understanding. For me, I believe I should provide for everything, irrespective whether you are earning or you are not earning. Let be you to see like, I'm struggling somewhere and I deserve to be helped, such kind of a thing, for you to pop in or ship in your kind of a help or something. That's what I understand for me, and that's what I've subscribed. So at that particular point, and I believe whenever she sees you trying your best as much as you can, of course, if she's thinking, and of course, if she's a wise person, I bet if you never looked for the looks, if you went beyond that, then she should see that you're trying your best. Then at that particular point, chip in. That's something that can be of help to that progression of that specific marriage. All right. So anyway, if this is your first time you're seeing me here, my name is Joseph. Talk about money, anything related to that. All right. So basically, I tell you, don't devour everything, because only a fool does so. We should set aside a little bit to invest and progress to the next life. All right, or next level rather. So if you're out there, you would like to get any sort of counseling or maybe sort of money discussion, any consultation, financial literacy, then you have to call me. All right, my number is on the description of this specific video. You can give me a call. I offer those services as well. I do also have booklets about investments, about money market funds, shares, and what have you, and many other business plans ready for you. Use the same number, contact me, and then from there we can talk business. For now, it's a goodbye. Make sure that you subscribe, and as well comment down below, tell me what you think. And for now, it's a goodbye and see you.